All right, Libra, you're up. Welcome also to the beginning of your birthday month. Libra season kicks off September 23rd, so you have that to look forward to. Libra, as you know, you are all about balance. You want fairness. You want to feel a sense of harmony, right? This is Venus is one of your ruling planets, so you very much like the lovey-dovey energy. And I have some good news for you this month. It's going to actually be a pretty positive month. A common theme that I've been mentioning for all of the signs is this is a very transitional, pivotal month. We're kind of wrapping up the energies of 2023 and allowing new energies to, this is a theme. I'm also knocking the cards over constantly in these readings. But we're leaving the themes behind and kind of starting these new chapters in our lives. And so the tone that you set this month is going to dictate not only the month of September, not only the following months of this year, but going well into 2024 and beyond. We have some major planetary shifts happening. Not only will Mercury and Venus station direct, we also have Jupiter going retrograde on September 4th, and there's just a bunch of energies going on in general. Also, one little bit of, I don't want to say gnarly energy, but you have Neptune moving into Pisces. Neptune rules Pisces, so there can be some deep kind of subconscious, unconscious content coming to the surface that may be affecting your emotions later in the month. But for the most part, this is actually a very harmonious month for you, Libra. Not only are you going to be entering Libra season, as I mentioned, later in the month, it's just a really good time to kind of get back into a flow state and feel that balance return in a way that makes you feel good. And so you should look forward to that, because if things have been a little bit turbulent, if they've been a little bit kind of chaotic, you're going to see more evidence that that is changing and kind of smoothing out is probably the best term that I could use. So Venus is going to help you also realize a lot of project energy as it stations direct. As this retrograde period comes to an end, you're going to get a lot of momentum in terms of new projects that you are beginning. So if you've had something that you've been meaning to get started, or maybe you've started something and it's been going a little bit rocky, you can expect that energy to smooth out. And that also goes for the realm of relationships. And we'll get into relationships a little bit more in the coming reading. Okay, this is also a great time to immerse yourself in a world that resonates with your own personal preferences and core values, right? This is going to allow you to restore that balance that you really seek. So what I mean is like, you have aspects of your being, you have ways that you are that are, make you feel good. If you get out of sync with those, if you get out of touch with those, that's when things tend to get chaotic in your life, okay? And sometimes it can feel that external circumstances and situations are pressing down on you and you don't have much choice in the matter. But I want to reemphasize here that you do absolutely have that decision-making power to shape and focus your life into something that makes it what you want it to be. This is not the time to be catering to other people's ideas and beliefs. This is your time to hone into your core values and beliefs and kind of things you love and care about and focus on those. A lot of this month is about self-care for you, prioritizing yourself above other people. Now, if that sounds selfish, to what? To what? So what? It actually is more important for you to focus on yourself, put your oxygen mask on first before you help other people. Otherwise, you're going to be left feeling kind of not down in the dumps, but probably like things aren't working out so well. So just please focus on yourself. Self-care comes to the forefront in the month of September. Any challenges that you may encounter can be alleviated by taking some time for yourself, going inwards, relaxing, and just taking care of yourself, okay? So be mindful of channeling your enthusiasm effectively to avoid potential pitfalls that may undermine the positive outcomes of your that you seek, right? So what this means is like, you are generally a very optimistic, enthusiastic person. But if you get carried away, if you take that to an extreme, it actually can work against you in a lot of ways. So this balance that is critical for all Libras really comes to the forefront in September. This doesn't mean you can't be excited. This doesn't mean you can't be thrilled about the positive things that are happening in your life. It just means try to temper your enthusiasm a little bit in various areas so you don't get carried away, because then you're just going to have to walk it back later on, and maybe that's not as fun as just like going with the flow and allowing things to naturally happen, okay? Your life is absolutely going to change course this month in a very positive direction. So again, if you've been experiencing difficulties, if you've been experiencing trials and tribulations, this is something that should be turning relatively quickly, right? This is going to be shifting in a direction that is more aligned with what you want your life to be. Your job is to acknowledge that, catch that mood, focus on it, hold it gently, and allow it to happen. You don't have to put in a tremendous amount of effort. Some effort is required, but really this is going to be a natural shift that unfolds positively throughout the month of September, okay? And you're going to see this unfold, especially as Mercury, Venus, and then Mercury end their retrograde periods, which, again, have not really been about stifling you or hindering you. It's really been about reviewing what has worked and what hasn't worked, okay? Now, approach this new direction with your innate sense of skill and adaptability. One of your best qualities, Libra, is that you can adapt to situations. You have this flexibility to kind of go with the flow when something calls for that. Now, that can also, on the flip side, mean you kind of get pushed around and kind of get into people-pleasing activities, but really more than that is you have this ability to be malleable and flexible, so use that to your benefit. You also have a tremendous amount of innate skill and talent. Let that shine this month, even if not for other people, for yourself. Get back in touch, which makes you a very special and unique and awesome person. Allow yourself to feel that and acknowledge that, and then you'll see more evidence of other people acknowledging that in you as well, okay? Now, don't become complacent and overlook the importance of nurturing your relationships. Now, while your relationship life may be going quite well and will continue to go well, I actually see a lot of good romantic progress in your life in September, you can't like rest on your laurels. You have to actually put in the effort, put in the energy in your relationships to kind of get them to be where you would like them to be. So if you know you've kind of been slacking in the realm of relationships, say you have a partner and you haven't been putting in the requisite amount of energy, this is the month to kind of double down and get back onto it. Let people know how much you care. Let people know how much they mean to you. And you should see like a lot of that positive energy reflected back to you in a meaningful way, okay? Your connections are going to support you, but they don't absolve you of the responsibility to persevere in the face of challenges that may arise. And what this means is that, yes, you have an amazing support system. Libras are usually very supported socially, familially, like you have a good time. You're ruled by Venus, so there's a natural attractive force that kind of brings people to you, and that's wonderful. However, you can't let them do all the work. You're going to have to be the person to overcome the issues that happen in your life. Internally, knowing that you have the power and the ability to overcome these things is more important than relying on your systems, your support systems, to kind of bail you out of situations. If that becomes a pattern, if that becomes a habit, it's just going to slow you down, because ultimately it is just you, right? It's just your consciousness. It's just your ability to discern what's actually going on in your life, right? There's a wonderful Stevie Wonder song, Everything's Gonna Be All Right. Is that what it is? Yeah, that's what it is. It's like you're the only one who sees what you take yourself through. No one else can see from your particular perspective what your life is about. So ultimately, you decide what your life is about, and you need to make those steps and actively take those steps to kind of improve or work on growth and transformation. Yes, you have support systems. Yes, if you fuck up and don't do things maybe as perfectly as you would have liked to, you're going to have people there to help lift you up. But it's up to you ultimately to kind of take these steps and kind of integrate and learn and grow from experiences. Someone else isn't going to do that for you, okay? Now, your natural inclination towards charm and seduction will make you very appealing to others during this month. So you may find yourself naturally attracting a lot of people into your life. Embrace that. Enjoy that. There's nothing wrong with bringing new people into the fold. Maybe you just are naturally meeting some really cool and interesting people. Your social group, Libra, really does define you in a lot of ways, right? You've heard the saying that, the 5 people who you hang out with the most really make up and shape your world. That's absolutely true. So make sure you're paying attention to the quality and what your friends and family and what people are bringing to the table. You don't want to get mired in people's energy. That's ultimately going to bring you down. You want to be paying close attention to, are you sharing goals? Are you sharing dreams with the people you're spending your time with? Because that's ultimately going to dictate a large component of your success. And if that's not happening right now, feel free to imagine relationships and situations and friends that are lifting you up. Bring people into your life. You're going to naturally be attractive to them. So bring the best quality and types of person into your life this month, because you're going to have this innate kind of auspicious ability coming in to attract people. Okay. Your romantic endeavors are likely to be highlighted during September as you find yourself in a positive and promising state. So this goes for if you are already in a relationship, you should see a lot of evidence that things are getting better, that your bonds are deepening, that your bonds are tightening, and this should be a very natural thing. If you are looking for a relationship, relax into it. You will be attracting people towards you. If you understand that you are worthy, you are beautiful, you are confident, you can do whatever you want, you're going to attract some very high quality people into your life. If you start to doubt that, if it starts to feel like, I don't really know, just pay attention to that, but don't dwell on it. It's not something to be dwelled on. It's going to be a fleeting feeling. It's going to be something that is going to pass. And I wouldn't be surprised if around September 21st, when Neptune enters Pisces, that's something that maybe bubbles to the surface. But again, it's going to be a very fleeting kind of issue that you have in your mind, not something that is going to dictate the course of your month or the rest of your life. So there's going to be a lot. Now, the potential for quite literally anything to happen is well within your grasp this month. This means all possibilities are open. Sometimes the energies are not particularly open and we kind of have to hunker down and wait out for things to get a little bit smoother. That is not the case for you, Libra, in September. Things are going to be very expansive, very open. The matrix of possibilities are going to be abundant. So be careful in choosing that which you would like to do, because you have everything open to you. So really focus on the things that you would like to do rather than getting swayed or maybe pulled in a direction that you're not really interested in. That's kind of what this month is about. Focusing on what it is you really want, and then recognizing it's well within your grasp to achieve those things. Now, in order to make sure events proceed smoothly, be sure to temper your passion and be considerate of the emotions of others, right? This is where your innate sense of fairness and justice and balance comes in. Yes, it is easy to get carried away with our own wonderfulness when everything is going great and things are opening up for us, but just be aware of the emotions of other people. Pay attention to how other people are feeling. That's going to give you a greater sense of connection and an ability to forge these deeper bonds that I've been speaking about. That's when things really get fun and interesting, when you can make these very, not just shallow, superficial energies. In Libra, sometimes you get pegged as someone who's a bit of a social butterfly and someone who's kind of like moving from one thing to another. That's not really who you are. You actually really crave deep and meaningful connection. So allow that to come through by paying attention to how people are feeling around you. Use your innate intuitive sense to kind of get in touch with that, and you're going to be a-okay. Things are going to be pretty smooth for you. Right now, maintaining that balance will foster harmonious connections and enhance the likelihood of positive outcomes in your romantic pursuits. So if you're able to pay attention to the emotions of others and pay attention to what's going on with other people, that's going to give you an even better chance of forging a very deep and meaningful connection in a romantic sense with someone else. Again, this could be with an existing partner. This could be with someone you're going to meet. This could be with someone you know who you'd like to deepen that relationship with, but just pay attention to how they're feeling. Now, you don't need to dictate and cater your behavior towards their feelings. It's just pay attention to how they're feeling. See how they're playing off you. Like I said, people are going to be very attracted to you this month. This is not going to be something where you have to kind of like struggle to get like people into you. It's going to be a very natural process. So just take that time to pay attention to how people are feeling around you and see if you can maybe lift them up. See if you can figure out what you can do to make them feel better. That would be a very positive thing. So some things that you should really do this month: surround yourself with beauty. Okay, that means not only your physical appearance, spend some time kind of working on your physical appearance in whatever way makes you feel beautiful, but surround yourself with beautiful things. That could be nature, that could be art, That could be anything aesthetically pleasing that is going to remind you of the inherent qualities of beauty. Again, Venus rules your sign, Libra. So this is something that's very important for you to stay around and focus on. The more you surround yourself with beautiful, aesthetically pleasing things, the more that's going to remind you of the innate internal beauty that you have, and you're going to be able to let that shine. Okay, there's the hit, right? We do that all the time. That's number 2. Okay, practice relaxation techniques as well this month to find inner balance, whether that's meditation, whether that's an imaginal technique, whether that's just taking deep breaths, whether that's physical exercise, whether it's listening to music. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying you have to go and meditate like a Zen Buddhist monk to get some inner peace. It's just let yourself take a step back and relax into what is going on in your life, because that's going to be something that really serves you in the long run as you are looking to restore balance in your life. Things have been very chaotic this year for most signs, including you, Libra. So balance is something that certainly is something you should prioritize and should be a pretty positive thing as it flows back into your life. Also, don't be afraid to get creative and express yourself through art, music, or writing. If you are naturally predisposed to any or all of those modalities, please go ahead and do that. Maybe journaling, especially when the Virgo new moon happens on September 14th, set some intentions, set some goals, maybe reflect on what has gone on. Let those things culminate with the Aries full moon on the 29th, because that's when you're going to be able to reap those seeds that you have sowed. So allow yourself to kind of get creative, get into a creative mindset. Most people, in my opinion, need to honor their creativity. Most people don't, and they don't understand why some things get out of whack and out of balance. But if you know yourself to be a creative person, go ahead and pursue that. And if you haven't pursued creative endeavors, but maybe you've always wanted to, this is a wonderful month to maybe pick up a new creative habit or a new endeavor that you've always been interested in. It's going to be something that probably flows pretty naturally for you. So please go ahead and do that. Now, put more effort into your appearance so you can make sure you feel confident and beautiful. This doesn't mean you have to go and get a whole makeover and cut your hair and do anything, but just allow yourself, look in the mirror, let yourself know how beautiful you are. If you're not feeling that you're in a particularly beauteous state, go ahead and use the imaginal mirror technique. I'll mention it here, even though you can find it on the podcast Synchronicity whenever you want. Here's the mirror technique. You go into your mind's eye, right? This is when you're going to sleep or in a restful state. You go into your mind's eye and you see from with your own perspective, just how you're seeing now in the world. You're looking at something from your own eyes. You're going to see a mirror in front of you. And what do you see in that mirror? Your own reflection, of course. Now, in that reflection in your mind's eye, make yourself appear how you feel you would be the most beautiful you could be. You can also include various things in the mirror with you. As you allow yourself to do this, catch the mood, catch the feeling of what it actually feels like to view yourself in that mirror. You don't have to do this for more than a few seconds. You can do it for a couple minutes if you want. That's it. That's all I recommend for the beauty. That beauty will naturally cascade down from a higher dimension into this plane of existence, and you will be astounded how quickly change can take place, okay? If you've been trying to maybe better yourself physically, maybe lose some weight, maybe get a little bit healthier, you would be surprised if you go ahead and use that mirror technique to actually evoke change and how quickly things can happen. It's a very easy thing for most people to do, so go ahead and do that, and I think you should find some positive results. Also, don't be afraid of connecting with your inner voice. You have an inner monologue that is constantly going on. This is also referred to as your mental diet. Please pay attention to what thoughts and feelings you are communicating to yourself, because those thoughts and feelings inevitably are outpictured on your screen of reality, and they dictate how your life goes. So if you catch yourself maybe being a little bit harsh on yourself, being a little bit down, that's no big deal. You just want to make sure that you're paying attention to that, and you can send an opposite directional thought, if it was a negative one, in a positive direction. That's going to go a long way. So pay attention to what is going on inside of your own head, inside of your own heart, and please try to make sure that you are using positive, affirming words and thoughts and feelings for yourself, okay? Also, something that's very important this month, you got to create some time and rest for yourself, right? Don't get burned out. Don't push too hard. This is not the month. Yes, this is a big month in terms of transformation and change and a lot of good things going on. You do not have to grind. You do not have to hustle to get these things to happen. You can let them naturally happen. It is more important to make time and space for yourself to rest and feel good than anything else. You do not have to grind. You do not have to hustle. This is not what September is for, okay? Prioritize your well-being. That's what this month is for, okay? Maybe take a little little bit of a break in that Virgo new moon on September 14th as well. Maybe take some time to journal and find some intention setting practices that are going to be quite beneficial for you. Again, this is not the time to push. There are times when that's the energy that's required. In September, especially during the middle of the month, that is not what you were supposed to be doing. It is not going to be something that A, gives you results, and B, it's not going to make you feel that good. So don't be afraid to just kick back, relax, and enjoy the show, okay? I mentioned September 19th, Neptune enters Pisces. This may unleash a little bit of laziness. Just slow down, double check your work, and ask for more time if you need it, if this is professionally or in a relationship. Again, slowing down here is the message I want to convey. Libra, you can be very active. You tend to have a lot of energy. You tend to be very social. There may be a bit of a pullback there towards September 19th. Don't be afraid to just kind of put your foot on the brake, or at least take it off the gas, and just kind of relax. That's kind of what I'm recommending for the second half of the month here, okay? This September is also a wonderful month for daydreaming, enjoying art, and just be wary of making any firm commitments in the second half of the month, right? You don't have to make plans that are kind of written in stone. This would also go for any contractual information. I would recommend not signing any hard contracts in September. So if you do have something looming, maybe either push that off to the beginning of October, or maybe try to do it in the beginning of the month. I wouldn't do it while we're in retrograde, but maybe the first, like after the first week or two. But yeah, in general, I wouldn't be making any hard commitments this month, Libra. It's probably not going to work out the way you want it to. Now, letting go of the past comes into focus on September 21st as the sun aligns with Pluto and Capricorn. And this is a big part of this new chapter that's happening in your life. You have to let go of things in order for new things to come into. If you want to be the person you know yourself to be, but you don't feel yourself to be that right now, this version of yourself that doesn't feel like that quite literally needs to die. It needs to psychically go away. And one of the ways we do that is by surrendering and letting go old conceptions of ourselves that no longer serve us. So if you're able to do that, it's going to be far easier to step into a new version of your life that allows you to kind of achieve the things and be the person you want to be. So just don't be afraid of that surrendering process, because it's going to be something that is for your benefit. Yes, it can be scary. Yes, there can be some fear. We tend to react egoically in the same way as we would in a physical death situation when we're letting go of things psychically. Okay. All right, let's get into the cards. First card, we love to see it, 10 of Cups. This is harmony. This is balance. This is exactly what I'm talking about for the month of September. You should feel this energy flow in a very positive, harmonious, balanced way. Libra, this is what you crave, and this is what you're going to get. Enjoy it. Don't fight it. Don't doubt it. There's no reason to kind of doubt that good things can happen to you at this point. That's really not what it's about. Now, when we get to the 8 of Cups reverse, this refers to potentially leaving a situation that is no longer emotionally satisfying. This is very much related to retrograde energy here too. You should be reflecting on situations and things that have gone on in your life that no longer serve you, that you maybe even potentially are toxic. Do not be afraid to leave those situations. It's time to keep it moving. And again, this is related to your feelings. This is not related to thoughts or actions or physical realities. This is your feelings. So if you know a situation has kind of been weighing on you and you kind of don't see a way out of it, please do not be afraid to move on. That is a critical step that everyone has to learn at some aspect in their life, that sometimes when a situation isn't working the way you need it to work, it's okay to let it go. It doesn't even mean permanently that it won't be there later. It just means when something isn't working, you got to keep it moving sometimes. So Libra, if you know of a situation in your life that is happening, please don't be afraid to kick it and go and get peace out. It's totally okay. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles here. Again, speaking to this ability towards things to be naturally drawn to you. Your natural charisma, your natural ability to attract things and bring things towards you is going to be on full display in the month of September. This not only means people coming into your life, but it could also be abundance, resources, just things flowing to you naturally. So embrace that, sit there comfortably receiving it. You do not need to do a lot of performative work to allow these things to happen to you. Things are going to start flowing to you naturally. Believe that, know that, and then witness it happen. Again, like I said, this is not the month for hustle and grind. This is not the month for, I got to do A and B so I can get to C. That's not what this is about. This is allowing things to come your way that are for your benefit, to restore that harmony and balance that you crave, that you seek, that is what you desire, and is really well suited for you. You are a Libra. You want this balance, right? So if things have seemed out of whack this year, if they've seemed out of whack prior to this time, you are going to see an abundance of evidence that things are getting back into harmonious aspects with themselves. So please go ahead and enjoy that. Now let's pull some animal oracles and we'll wrap this up. Like I said, if you've caught any of the other readings, I was away on vacation in Turkey for the beginning part of August, so these are a little late. So normally we do about 40 minutes for these readings. They're going to be closer to 30 minutes so I can get them all done. I will be back today with Scorpio, and then tomorrow we will be doing Sagittarius and Capricorn. And then we will wrap up with Aquarius and Pisces, right? Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So we should be all done on Tuesday. If I can get an extra one in here the next couple of days, I will try to, but we should be all wrapped up no later than September 5th. So again, for people who don't know, you can find this on the Patreon, synchronicity.com/Patreon, and that's where these will be. Whale Spirit. Trust the great mystery. Okay. And that's really what this is about. Like, sometimes we don't have all of the information. Sometimes we don't have the complete picture of what's going on, and we just kind of have to sense our way through it. That's why we use astrology. That's why we use tarot. This is nothing more than getting in touch with the subconscious aspects of our being. There are things that are far below our threshold of awareness that our conscious mind cannot grasp. And when that happens, it can be sometimes an uncomfortable state because we want to know things, especially as an air sign Libra. You definitely prioritize the ability to understand and be able to logically get what is going on. But sometimes things are mysterious. Just know that the great mystery is working in your favor. It is not against you. You are not against yourself. Dove Spirit, be peace. And that's kind of how you allow things to flow to you this month. Just that's why I was saying, like, you know, practice some relaxation techniques. Practice some just taking a step back, deep breaths, anything that gets you into your body and feeling very relaxed. I shared some of those hemisync things, recordings in last month's readings on the Patreon. Those are wonderful, but really, this is the month for slowing down, allowing things to come for you, recognizing the shift in energy. This is like a hard vibe shift month in the best possible way. Things are going to be slowing down a little bit, right? As we make in the Northern Hemisphere that transition from summer into fall, things begin to slow a little bit. The days get a little bit shorter in terms of daylight. This is a very positive thing for you because you're going to be restoring this natural balance into your life, allowing you to feel things that are for your benefit. Recognize the harmony coming back into your life, and you should be okay. And the last card, Fox Spirit. Think on your feet. Okay? This is where you can really let your power of your mind shine, right? You can think of these. I don't want to make it seem like when I say slow down that you shouldn't be focusing on anything. You should be. You should be aware of your goals, your dreams, your ability to create reality, your ability to understand what objective and desires you have, and then pursue those confidently. First in your imagination, right? I want to be very clear about that. You feel it first. You feel the mood in your imagination, and then you allow it to take place. But when you're presented with situations that are maybe difficult or complex, you also have an ability to move through those quite quickly, Libra, right? You have this quick thinking ability. That's why people are usually naturally drawn to you. Charismatic people are usually quick-witted people. They are entertaining to be around. They are fun to be around, and I'm sure you know yourself to be one of those people. So just embrace this idea of yourself of being a smart, capable, beautiful, wonderful person, and you should see more and more evidence of this flowing into your life. Like I said, don't be surprised if you attract a whole bunch of people this month who are really like impressed with you and really happy to get to know you and be around you. And for existing relationships that exist, Existing relationships that exist, sure. Existing relationships, you should find that your bonds are deepening and your connections are getting tighter and smoother and easier. So this is a month ultimately of ease, of comfort, and prioritizing yourself. That means both your comfort, your preferences, but also your plans and goals for the future. This is a good time to be thinking about, what does this next chapter in your life look like? What are some of the things you would like to be doing? What do you want your day-to-day life to look like, right? What do you want it to be about? These are things that you should be asking yourself regularly, but this is such a good opportunity to kind of shape and create change in your life that will set you up for the future. So please go ahead and embrace that. And I think you should find it to be very flowy, very, very free, very flexible. So the more you kind of are open to that idea and have that belief, the more evidence you should see out there in the world reflecting back that back to you. All right, Libra, this was great. I will be back with Scorpio maybe in an hour or two, and I will see you then.